Final Score with Nick Walters on Fox 16.
I think it's going to be a good game, and I take our offense over theirs any day. I think we got them.
Oof, that did not age well. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And for those who are Razorback fans, I imagine it's already pretty happy after seeing the first Omahogs win in 4 years. Hog calls rang out at the College World Series again and again and again on Saturday. Arkansas thrashed Stanford 17-2 in a downright shellacking, making some history while they're at it. It marks the largest margin of victory for an SEC team ever at the College World Series. Arkansas is the first team of any conference since 1988 to win by at least 15 runs in Omaha. The Razorbacks racked up 21 hits yesterday, the most in a game at the Chuck. And go figure, it's a new program record for runs and hits in a World Series game. Next up, the Hogs face Ole Miss on Monday at 6. But let's take a moment to digest this offensive eruption and defensive lockdown over the nation's second-ranked team.
1-1, he does. This ball deep to left, going back at the wall, and it is gone! A 3-run home run!
The Razorbacks steamrolled Stanford, but not quite from the get-go. Tied at 1 apiece in the 5th, a 3-run shot by Chris Lanzilli put the Hogs in the driver's seat. His teammates would take the wheel and speed away with it, rattling off hit after hit and run after run for a 17-2 final. It was the most lopsided victory in Omaha in 34 years, tied for the 4th largest margin ever.
I think any coach, there's a few teams from the SEC West here, and they'll all tell you that going through the league prepares you for anything you're going to run into. It doesn't mean you're going to win, but you've seen it before, whether it's big time lefty with velocity or right-hander with a plus slider. And you're going to see it. Offenses like Stanford, they beat us early in the season, and we limped out of there a little bit going, wow. And we thought Stanford probably doesn't think we're very good. And because we didn't look very good that day. And, today's score got out of hand, and I thought we played just a fantastic game. It started on the mound with pitching. It was outstanding, a lot of strikes.
Another new day to take on a new team and a new ballpark for this team for this year. So it was a fun opportunity to start us off right.
Offensively, swung the bat extremely well up and down the lineup. Got production 1 through 9. I think everybody might have had a hit today or a couple, and just played a really good ball game.
We're all about us past few weeks, and we've just been hot the whole time. It's been working, and we don't think about what they think. We think about what we're doing, what we're thinking, and it's definitely working.
The Razorback romp was highlighted by the play of starting pitcher Connor Noland, who threw an absolute gem of a game. A Greenwood native and former quarterback for the Hogs football team, Noland faced a challenging Stanford lineup that came in averaging 9 runs a game in the postseason. Unfazed after giving up a run in the first, he'd see a career performance. Before the 8th inning, when he'd step off the bump, Noland had thrown just 66 pitches, 10 in a single at-bat, allowing just 6 hits through the ball game.
I just stuck to the plan. They were very aggressive and didn't get a lot of 2-strike counts. They just put the ball in play, and I'll let the defense work behind me. I think it's a lot of the same, just filling up the strike zone. That's the biggest thing. Getting ahead in counts, getting them to take uncomfortable swings. And that's really been the big thing these past 3 weeks. Just get ahead and let my defense work, and it worked today.
For him to pitch like he's pitched in Game 1 and give us a chance to rest our guys and feel good about using, our bullpen a couple of times, really from maybe the 6th or 7th inning of his first outing on 3 times in a row. It's been big, and I don't think it's the best I've seen him. But as far as competing, the temperature, the stage we're on, you add all that up, and probably nothing's been better. But just as far as the stuff coming out of his hand, it's been a little better here and there. But, it was really good, and it was pretty much located. And, that's a big, strong, physical team, and, it's hard to keep him down.
Lanzilli's slam in the 5th didn't just put Arkansas in control, but it was just the spark plug the Hogs needed. Robert Moore felt the momentum swing, reaching base in each of his first 5 plate appearances, leading the Razorbacks with 3 runs scored.
Robert, great day, 3 walks, double, single. If we can keep him going, it's big, and you can go on down the lineup a little bit more. There's a lot of production, but if Robert's going, it really helps us.
For Lanzilli, who transferred to the Hill, and speaking for the rest of the Omahogs in the dugout and in the bullpen, he's worked his whole life to get to this stage.
To play on this stage is it's really why I came here, and to do something like that is awesome, and to win the game is even better. I just want to keep it rolling.
Hitting's really hard, and sometimes you just go through a period where it's not going your way. Other team's pitching well, maybe you're a little tired. I mean, there's a lot of things that play into it, because we don't just play once a week. We play a lot. We play a lot of games. Maybe just someone who watches baseball a little bit, they don't understand why you get beat by teams you're supposed to beat, or you lose on a Tuesday night because you're not playing all your guys or whatever. It's because we're trying to make sure that we have guys ready to play at this time of year.
The struggles Arkansas suffered at the end of SEC play, dropping 6 of their last 8 just 3 weeks ago, now seems like ions ago. Hitting the postseason, the Hogs found a new identity and a new swagger, making their run for a national championship possible.
What I've seen from them is a team that, was disappointed how the regular season ended. And once we got into postseason play, I just felt like the team, they didn't want to fail. And they took a step forward, got over all the negativity, and just said, hey, we're gonna fight you to the end, and hopefully it'll go our way. And we're running a pretty good offense right now.
Thousands of Razorback fans made the trip and showed out at the Chuck, making noise and showing love that these players think are unparalleled in Omaha, and it could play to their advantage next week.
I think we got the best fans in the nation. I mean, we show out well in Omaha, and I think their presence here today was felt. They were loud. I could hear them for sure, so I think the other team could hear them too.
Yeah, I mean, at first we were wondering which fans were ours, because they're all wearing red, and then when the game started, we sure heard them, so it was awesome.
Be here if it wasn't for those Super Hogs. After the break, we're going to have that story on Bryant native Will McEntire's stellar outing in Chapel Hill last weekend.
You're watching Final Score.
The Hogs have already taken Omaha by storm, grabbing everybody's attention. Their 17-2 statement win over Stanford made national headlines. But what helped get the Razorbacks to the College World Series in the first place was a super performance in the Supers. Last Sunday, Bryant native Will McEntire drew the start in Game 2 and gave North Carolina fits. It was the highlight of what he calls a crazy year, not getting the ball at all last season, keeping faith, appearing on weekdays, then weekends, and now starring in the postseason. On Monday, I went back to McEntire's old stomping grounds to find out how the former Hornet got his opportunity and ran with it. The Razorbacks are off to Omaha for the first time in 3 years and for the 11th time ever. A big reason the Super Hogs could become Omahogs was the play of a homegrown hog on Sunday. The unexpected hero making his family and his former coach awfully proud.
Last night I feel like I'm going to wake up and it's going to be a dream.
I get a text from Will at 8 o'clock this morning and just thrilled. Those guys are juiced up and ready to get to Omaha.
Razorbacks pitcher Will McEntire, a former star here at Bryant High, certainly knows how to make the most of his opportunities. In his 3rd season at Arkansas, McEntire started to see his chances grow through the season. First in midweek games, then on weekends, and finally his shining moment, Game 2 of the Supers against North Carolina, as the Razorbacks punch their ticket to the College World Series, and in his start, he throws 5 innings without allowing a single run.
It's been quite a ride the last 8 weeks, with him starting in the midweek games, and then Vanderbilt pitching at Auburn, and now he's pitching in the playoffs. But I kept telling him in March, early in April, I said, just keep hanging in there and be ready.
It's been well documented that he went and had a conversation with Coach Van Horn and just said, give me a chance. And that was a real testament to him knowing who he was, willing to bet on himself. And he's staying with the program and just asked for that opportunity. And Will took it upon himself to perform in those opportunities.
People may most remember Brady Slavin's walk-off single in the bottom of the 9th, but McEntire's play early on kept the Tar Heels on their heels. Through 5 innings and 2 outs on the bump, McEntire struck out 4 batters and blanked UNC, allowing just 3 hits and 2 walks. All in spite of a lightning delay, putting his outing at a pause for nearly 2 hours.
I've done it 2 times, I remember, in high school, and I've had experience doing it before, and I just knew exactly how to keep myself ready in that situation.
The things that we did together to accomplish what we accomplished here and see what Will accomplished himself. You take pride when you're watching it. I couldn't have been more proud of the way he carried himself, the belief in himself to get the job done. And he always believed in his ability to throw strikes and locate, and he always worked at his craft.
By helping punch the Hogs' ticket to be one of 8 teams fending for a natty, McEntire reps his hometown of Bryant, where he was an all-state pitcher for the Hornets.
some things that we fought with Will was just knowing who you are. Just know who you are. Just pitch to that ability. That's good enough. Will, when he always came back to it, would always find that Will McEntire in him, and he'd just dominate. He would do things on the mound here that was very, very, very impressive for a guy like that.
Will's parents were in attendance in Chapel Hill, and it was a big moment getting the news Sunday morning that their son would start in a super regional that afternoon.
Honestly, I don't even think he told me. Usually he'll text me when he finds out, but I don't think this time he did. I think I saw it on Twitter. So it's always intense when your kid's the pitcher because they're involved in every play, and then the games get bigger and bigger. It gets more intense, but I knew he would compete really hard and would probably do well.
Will's father, Madison, coached him through Little League and up until high school ball. He's seen firsthand how the pitcher's game and mentality has grown in recent months.
Well, he's always been a hard worker. He's shaped up some. Of course, they got great training facilities up there, and he's taken advantage of it. He has always been very mentally tough. Playing at Bryant, where they get up every morning, starting in August when school starts, and practice, work out at 5:30 all year long and play, it's made him mentally tough. We moved down there like 20 years ago. My wife's taught there about 4 or 5 years before we moved down there. And the first thing she told me, she said, they got a really good baseball program. So Will was 1 year old, and I had no idea this was going to happen.
McEntire will look to make an impact in Omaha starting this weekend, adding to his legacy as another Bryant Hornet who's gone on to excel on the next level and beyond.
Like the Blaine Knights, the Evan Lees, the Trevor Ezells, okay, the Justin Wellses to the Trent Daniels, okay? It's guys that have gone through the programs and been successful, and it's always fun for us in Bryant to watch.
And it's all been a whirlwind. We were driving up for 3 or 4 midweek games in a row, and the next thing I know, we're traveling to Auburn and Tuscaloosa and Hoover and Stillwater and out here to Carolina, and now we're going to Omaha. It's been a crazy trip.
Nick Walters, Fox 16. Now after the break, everything you need to know from the Shootout of the South 7-on-7 tournament this weekend in Little Rock. Action, reaction, storylines, right after this. Sunday fun day, and there was a bunch of sun and fun for high school football the last couple days. Since 2005, the Shootout of the South has been a Father's Day weekend tradition in Arkansas. Every year, Pulaski Academy hosts one of the most coveted 7-on-7 tournaments in the South, inviting schools from all over the natural state and from neighboring states, featuring heated competition in the summer heat, safe hydration along with splashy plays, and camaraderie with, of course, some bad blood. This year's Shootout of the South was locked and loaded. 24 teams from 4 states clashed in the capital city, fielding over a dozen athletes with D1 offers, featuring competition from inside and over state lines, sharpening each other's iron, all fighting for seeding in Saturday's bracket challenge. Defending for the title this weekend are 2 teams apiece from Texas and Mississippi, plus 3 from Oklahoma, along with a stacked list of Arkansas schools. Out of Central Arkansas, back-to-back 5A state champ Pulaski Academy is always a force to be reckoned with in 7-on-7, the program starting this tournament in 2005. The new-look Bruins look to gel together under Anthony Lucas before moving up to Class 6A. 4-time defending 7A state champ Bryant is back for the Shootout, a trio of quarterbacks competing for the starting job under center. Buck James looks to gear up the Hornets to run it back for a 5-peat.
Well, it gives us a chance to get better. I mean, the reps we get, the opportunities we get to get better every play, whether it's on the offense or defense, whether it's quarterbacks, receivers, whether it's linebackers or D-backs. It gives us a chance to get better, and we can get more reps today than we could if we were at home practicing with ourselves or doing things, and not in this kind of competitive atmosphere. So it gives us an opportunity to improve on what we do and how we do it.
Conway comes off a stellar season in 7A Central that finished in the semis, and the Wampus Cats are rallying the troops for another deep run under Keith Bimple. A big-name recruit donning new colors at the event is Razorbacks commit Braylon Russell, as the former Lakeside running back moves and joins Benton ahead of his junior season. Brad Harris is stoked to get the versatile 6'2", 220-plus truck on the Panthers.
Well, when you get somebody of Braylon Russell's caliber move in and start playing with your team and everything, it lifts your, the level of your offense, especially. The guy he's a big physical guy. His game is more of 11-on-11 than it is 7-on-7, but he's picking up things quickly. This is his second week to be with us. He started with us on June the 6th, and we went through spring football, and we really like our offensive line that we've got and the running backs we've got. We bring 2 receivers back from last year's team, but when you add Braylon in the mix, it adds an extra dimension to the game. You got a big 225 225-pound running back running behind a big offensive line, and we still got some good receivers outside. So, we're trying to get better at 7-on-7, but when you add a guy of his caliber, it makes you a lot better offensively.
And Little Rock Christian is headlined by quarterback Walker White, who holds SEC offers from Arkansas and LSU, as the junior leads the Warriors in their move up to 6A.
We need Walker to step up in a leadership role, playmaking role. He's done a great job in the offseason, improving his craft. Now we need some receivers to step in.
Other Central Arkansas teams beating the Heat this weekend are repeat 3A state champs Harding Academy. Valonia is out here looking to fill the void at quarterback left by UCA signee Austin Myers, along with Little Rock Catholic, Lakeside, Greenbrier, Lone Oak, and Arkadelphia. Squads making a trip across the state are 6A champ El Dorado, Marion, and Monticello. In the Shootout of the South Championship, it'd be Bryant and Conway facing off, a rematch of last year's state semis. The four-time defending 7A champ Hornets took down Pulaski Academy to get to the final, while the Wampus Cats advanced past Catholic. Early on, it'd be Bryant striking first. Razorbacks baseball commit Gideon Moats with the dart, and the Hornets go up 7-0. 7-on-7 is a fast-paced, high-scoring game, but the rest of this one would be a defensive dogfight. Conway picks off a pair of passes, counting 2 points apiece, so it's a 7-4 ball game in the second half. Bryant responds with an INT of their own, making a 9-4 Bryant lead late. Wampus Cats in striking range, but in the final minute, Moats floats it and has his man to ice the game. The ensuing touchdown pass pads the score as Bryant wins 15-4. Last year's Shootout of the South Final was between out-of-state teams, and now the title is back with the home state.
Well, they got to stand in the heat for a long time together, and, they face some adversity, they face some success, and that gives them a chance to strengthen. And, our character is what we're working on as much as we are our abilities and our skills. And, I think our guys found a way to win, and that's something that you can't teach. And I think they did a great job of persevering and trying to win the tournament. We want to win 5. We can't win 5 if you don't win 4. I said that last year. But we got some good young players, but we've got a long ways to go. We've got to keep getting better. We got to become a better team. We got to become better players. We got to improve our skill level.
Moats takes home the honor for top quarterback of the tourney as the Shootout of the South crown goes back to Saline County.
Well, I think he got better. I think a lot of our kids got better. I think he made better decisions. He made them a little faster. And, we still had some things that we got to work on. But all in all, I think he had a good weekend. I think our defense played extremely well, giving up 4 points right there in the championship game. Says a lot about them because the Conway team has a great offense, and to hold them to 4 points is good. I thought our team got better. Yesterday we got 250 reps, and today we're probably right there again. So 500 rep weekend, that's what I'm looking for.
Bryant may have taken home the largest hardware, but they're not the only winners from the tourney. 24 teams and hundreds of athletes battled the heat this weekend, prepping for the fall. PA may have fallen in the semis, but the Bruins program takes pride in hosting this event to help out teams all across Arkansas and a handful from over state lines.
Well, it gets you ready because you're getting in these competitive times, whether you're doing 7-on-7 or doing a team camp. It's things that you're doing to get better that progresses, that leads over into the season. So all these kids, you all hear them talk about, that's all right, we'll see y'all in the season, or we'll see y'all this. They know, all of them know, and our kids do too. And
we just look at really talent level on each one and see what they're going to have for their opposing team, a lot of times. But, everybody's just like us. They're out here to get better, get reps.
It helps everybody, every organization who's putting in that time to prepare for the fall season. I'm actually, today just made me get a little bit more excited about going into the fall.
Well, the big thing is getting adjusted to the heat today. That's awesome conditioning for us to get ready through the summer and through August practice and everything. But just the throwing between quarterbacks and receivers, building that chemistry is what we always look at for our 7-on-7 purposes.
It helps us from defense because we can't be physical. We have to be able to play the routes as they form in front of us. We can't dictate where we want them to go. Receiving-wise, you got to have a lot better timing. You got to have deeper routes that you throw. And
it's always an exciting competitive tournament, and it really helps us see, especially receiver, defensive back wise, who can make plays under pressure situations. 7-on-7 is really good for defensive backs to learn coverages, get a lot of reps. For receivers to learn how to be that playmaker and learn how to make plays, tack the ball in the air, run great routes, and it's good for everyone out here for the heat. To get them acclimated for August because it's just as hot as August will be.
With heated competition came an actual heat wave, as temperatures in Little Rock ranged through the 90s for the tournament with high heat indices. But not to worry, because PA and their sponsors provided plenty of tents and water to keep athletes, coaches, and fans hydrated, cool, and safe.
PA does an awesome job. You know, they've got tents set up with water everywhere. We bring our own tent with lots of Gatorade and water and snacks for the guys. Right here, you see to our left right here that they've got Ortho Arkansas and everybody set up for trainers and everything. So there's plenty of safety precautions being taken care of, and PA always does a great job with this.
Of course, you know, going into this weekend, I'm a person that likes to watch the news and watch the weather to plan. So I think the coaches have to, you know, encourage their kids to watch the weather and to plan better and make sure they hydrate.
Well, it's good, you know, and the kids got to learn to take care of themselves. I know when I was a kid, we didn't even think about this being hot, but, you know, nowadays it's a whole different mindset. But our kids want to play ball. They want to get out there and be a part of this, and they don't really think about the heat and how hot it is until after they get home and they saw that they worked hard today, and they'll find out they'll want to eat a little bit more and drink a little bit better.
Just so happy that the sun went down at the end of the day today, and it got cooled off right when the championship game hit. I just hate PA wasn't playing in the championship game. But overall, we got better, and I'm just happy for everyone who came out here to Pulaski Academy and everybody that supported. It was just a great weekend. Turned out beautiful.
Shout out to the Shootout. What an incredible weekend of football. I had a whole lot of fun being there. Stay with us.
You're watching Final Score.
Stay right here to catch In Depth with Graham Bensinger to hear from Ice Cube, who founded Big 3 basketball and just last year came to visit Arkansas. But that'll do it for us. Thanks as always for hanging out with us and supporting the team here at Fox 16 Sports. For all the hardworking men and women in the booth and on the floor, I'm Nick Walters, wishing you a happy Father's Day and a great night. See you next Sunday.